Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to Man Talk 133 with Charles and Darl, the movement dedicated to empowering men, uniting brothers, and building a strong coalition. This is more than just a conversation. It's a call to action. Join us as we uplift, support, and inspire men worldwide. Because together, we don't just talk, we lead, we grow, and we conquer. Are you ready to be part of the coalition? Let's dive in.
Welcome to Man Talk 133. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, bro? How you feeling, man?
Man, ain't nothing to it, man. We back at it one more time, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, so, you know, as men, we have issues with certain things, you know.
Right.
We have issues with health, going to the doctor, going to get, you know, get ourselves checked out. So I'm going to give some surprising statistics.
Okay.
That's going you may or may not know. So
Right.
we're going to talk a little bit about that today, man. And hopefully we can get these men into the doctor's offices, man, to get themselves checked out. You know what I mean?
Okay. Right.
So the first one is life expectancy. Hey, I want to live a long time, right?
Me too. Right.
But men have a shorter life expectancy than women, with an average of 74.8 years compared to 80.2 years in the United States for men to women. Why you think?
Right.
What's the reason why?
Man, men got that stress on them, man. I think they may, you know, I know women have stress too, but
Yeah.
I think men got to be the bread when they got to do it all. So
Yeah.
I think we have a little bit more stress on us, you know. And it's weird as well as being outside in the outside world too. Even though, like I said, women now they do have a lot of stress too, raising the kids and all this stuff like that, and working.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I agree with that too. I think that's probably kind of it's stress, but also think it's self-inflicted stress, meaning that they bring it upon themselves. Who told you were Superman?
Right. Yeah.
Nobody,
We got a problem with their pride, though. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody told you were Superman. So you want to be Superman, and you see what happened to Superman when Superman ain't Superman or is Superman. So it depends on whatever way you look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and mortality rate. Men have a higher mortality rate than women, particularly from cardiovascular diseases, cancer, and accidents. So cardiovascular, I guess that could be from eating, you know, bad foods and not taking care of cholesterol and not, you know, doing all this stuff, man, and to kind of, you know, take care of this, you know, take care of themselves. Like cancer, I mean, it can get anybody. I don't know why that is one of the main reasons for the high mortality rate. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and step out there and say probably because they don't go to the doctor and get checked.
That's true. Early screening is good to go get, get your early screening. A lot of guys, man, we, like I said, we always try to talk to them. A lot of guys, they need it, they fear the colonoscopy.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So they don't want to go get checked or whatever, but you got to stay up on that.
But you know what's stupid about
it's just what it is though.
Yeah, not to cut y'all, but you know what's
Oh, you
stupid
good.
about that? When you do
What's
the
that?
colonoscopy, you sleep.
Exactly. You
So
sleep.
how do you know what's going on anyway?
Right. You know what I'm saying? And
it
a lot of guys too, like I said, they
Mhm.
don't want to do that, the prostate exams. But you got to do that to stay here. And now it even got, it has gotten better scientifically
Yeah, yeah,
because they can detect, a lot of cancers or all cancers in the blood now, especially
yeah,
prostate.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you can just get your blood work as long as you go, man, and get your blood work.
yeah.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you don't even have to. I think at a certain
Mhm.
age, you got to start doing the finger check again.
Right.
But I mean,
Like
I look
40.
at it like this:
Yeah.
it's just a little bit of, discomfort.
Mhm.
Probably 5 seconds that could save
Right.
your life. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, I
Right.
mean, just be smart about it. That's all I'm
Right.
saying. Yeah,
Right. And as far as like you were saying about that, the cholesterol, and then that high blood, all everybody pretty much get high blood, but as far as the men, we don't eat the healthiest. Cause
you got that right.
we always on the run, how
Yeah,
we working, we might be working a double shift, so we eating this and eating that or whatever,
out
So we
snack
don't really
machines. Yeah,
yeah, so we don't really eat the healthiest, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that can
yeah,
lead to that too, like with that cholesterol
yeah.
shooting up to the roof or whatever. Yeah.
hmm And
hmm
then another thing, man, they talk about chronic diseases. Men are
hmm
more likely to suffer from chronic diseases such as heart disease. I said that
hmm
stroke, cancer,
hmm
diabetes, and obesity. And you kind of
hmm
alluded to all of that when
hmm
you were saying how we on the run,
hmm
eat out of snack machines.
Right.
I mean, it's we don't eat the healthiest. And
hmm
I've my doctor told me to start taking fish oil to help with cholesterol and stuff
Right.
like that. So it's things that we can do, but as
N-
men, we gotta start just stop talking about them and just do it.
Right.
And it's a simple thing. It's going set an appointment, going
Right.
to the doctor, and just get it done. It's plain and
Right.
simple.
Let me ask you something about that fish oil. Now,
Uh-huh.
does that have like a smell or anything to it? You know what I mean? Because I know they said garlic is good too, but the only reason why I won't really want to take garlic, I would if my life depended on it.
Yeah.
But that garlic, man, you take that got like a mushroom cloud around you.
Yeah.
So is that fish? Is that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just don't, I mean, if I
Yeah.
like I said, if my life depended on it, you
You gonna
know,
take it?
I'll take it, but I really don't want to do that. So what are some of the key things about the fish oil?
No, the
Like
fish
does that
oil is
have like
just they
yeah.
capsules, so you don't really
hmm
you just swallow them, and that's it. Not capsules, but the gel
Okay.
things. You just swallow. You don't taste it. None of that. So
Okay.
it's supposed to help with your cholesterol and stuff like that, man. And a lot of these
hmm
things that we talked about, the
hmm
obesity, the stroke, the
Right.
cancer, and stuff like that, which is
hmm
kind of is shortening the lives of men.
Right.
But when they get these things, some of these,
hmm
can't when they have a stroke and they
hmm
side messed up and they have a heart attack and all this stuff like that, it
Right.
leads to mental health issues. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which one
Yeah.
of the first one that I wanted to, what we can talk about is depression. Men are less likely to
Yeah.
report depression than women, but have a higher rate of suicide because they're so used
Yeah.
to, like you said, being outside, moving and doing all of this,
Yeah.
and when they can't do that and they can't cope with it,
hmm
that's where the issue comes in.
And like you said earlier, man, that's like bringing Superman down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You've been Superman forever,
yeah,
and then you go through those, what is it, maybe like a heart surgery or something or
yeah,
like that or
yeah,
whatever, or with a stroke or whatever. You can't walk as well as you used to,
yeah,
and man, that right there, I could see that, like with that, mental health and like I said, depression, because
Yeah, man.
you used to being Superman,
You used to getting up and going when you want to. You used
right?
to being able. Now, if you get, I guess, a certain level of diabetes, it kind of affects your vision. So now you
Yeah.
got to have help with that. When you used to
Hmm.
getting out riding motorcycles or whatever,
Right.
go-karts, now you can't do it. Now you're
Hmm.
stuck to the house
Right.
and you can't really go nowhere. And the reason why I'm
Right.
putting it and saying it like this is because
Hmm.
they need to learn, they need to understand that it's
Yeah.
serious. Your health is serious business, man, for you to be able to take care of
Yeah.
yourself, especially from a mental health standpoint.
Right. And yeah, man. They, like you said, a lot of people think that you gotta go run your heart out or whatever. But
Yeah.
you can do walking. The doctors
Yeah.
have told me that you can just you can walk maybe a mile or two, start off light,
Hmm.
and then you can pick up the pace or whatever. You can just jump rope if you don't
Yeah.
want to walk.
Jump rope is good.
If you can jump rope, that'll help you out. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
But I mess with people and I tell them, I was like, well, walking is for babies, dog. I like to run.
Right, man. I used to run that 3 miles like it won't nothing, man. I don't know, man. I had to really work up to that.
Yeah, I did. I
I
did
can't do
3
it.
yesterday. So yeah.
Right.
So I kind of like to run, but my
Hmm.
issue is, I got to be candid. Is kind of,
Hmm.
eating processed food. That's one of the things that I
Yeah.
have to really, really work on.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy just to stop, and it's cheaper to eat
Hmm.
bad than it is to eat good. I hate to say
Hmm.
it like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah, because I
yeah.
remember one time, man, I ate some I was when I was working on a night shift,
Hmm.
for a while. And I
Hmm.
was eating some of that like you said, that processed food that was like in the machines, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
egg and sausage and the double cheeseburgers and all
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I was eating that kind of stuff, right? And my stuff kind of spiked a little. I was like, I ain't know what was going on, right? 'Cause that was years back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now I was like in shape. And so when I went to the doctor and they gave me the test or whatever, it was like spiked a little bit. And then I
Hmm.
told them, I said, I know what it is. And I told them, they said, well, because they gave me a piece of paper
Hmm.
that had the contributing factors, right?
Hmm.
So when I told them, I said, I know what it is. When I cut those processed foods out, my
Yeah.
stuff went back down to level where it's supposed to be in at. And they, like I
Yeah.
said, that processed food can hurt you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, and when we talk about depression, man,
Hmm.
depression can lead to another one, which is substance abuse. Men
Right.
have a higher rate of substance abuse, including
Hmm.
alcohol and drugs, than women,
Right.
because men, they like to try to hide it,
Yeah.
and you can't hide it.
Self-medicate.
Yeah, you can't.
Self-medicate. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't hide it,
Yeah.
but for so long, it's gonna show.
Mhm.
And the best thing would be to do is, if you have a really good wife,
Mhm.
just let her know what's going on. Like, hey, look, I ain't feeling like I used to feel. So I mean, something off.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I feel like sleeping all the time. I feel like I don't
Mhm.
feel like doing X, Y, Z,
Mhm.
and get yourself checked out, because that substance abuse is gonna lead to basically,
Mhm.
and it's gonna increase the mortality rate, because you're gonna end up,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
hurting yourself out here drinking and driving and hurting somebody else and stuff
Right.
like that, man. So substance abuse is a really, really
Mhm.
high thing when it comes to men, because I know some women drink,
Right.
but some men drink to pass out.
The men, we get it in, you know, especially like you said, when we feel like we've been defeated,
Yeah,
Superman is gone. Hey man, and like I said, if you, like you said, you mentioned before, if you got a good wife or girlfriend or significant
Beyonce.
other, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, fiance or whatever, they'll actually, look out for you, make sure that you
yeah,
up to date on your stuff.
yeah. But
You know,
you gotta let them know. You gotta
right,
let them know what's going on, because if they don't know
right,
and you still being Superman,
yep,
and you ain't looking like Superman no more. Superman cut. You see what I'm saying? You
right,
looking like SpongeBob.
right. Hey, I just ain't got it no more.
I
You know
just
what I'm
ain't got
saying?
it on. Yo,
Yeah,
man, we heard the music, man. So hey,
right.
we'll be right back after this break.
That's right.
Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome back.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
back to Man
Yes, sir.
Talk
Yes, sir.
133. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the vets, man, that's
Yeah.
performing, man, after on these commercial breaks, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out
I
to
got to give them the shout out every commercial break, man.
shout out to Coffee Anderson.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out if I got some volume going on here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. I got you.
All right, good. All right.
Yeah,
So,
you good.
all right, shout out to Coffee Anderson. Whenever you can play a guitar like that, your name should be Coffee. He put that baby
Right.
out and was hitting it to this.
Right. Something I couldn't do. I tell you that.
I'm trying to tell you, man. So let's hop back into this thing, man.
Yeah,
Another thing, man, is anxiety. Men also are less likely to report anxiety than women. You know, again, y'all gonna keep hearing this. It's a pride thing. It's a man thing. And some women really don't understand the psyche of a man. And I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm a psychiatrist and nothing like that. But I have been a man. I'm 50, so I've been a man for 50 years.
Right.
A male anyway.
Right.
So I know a little bit about them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just saying it's a pride thing. It's a ego. It's a I am the man thing.
Yeah, I don't want you to. Yeah, I don't want you to do it for me. I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and our wives, and like I said, fiancés and significant others or whatever, they do whatever they can to help us when they see us, down. But like you said, the lion in us, like I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then some guys, they'll actually snap out, like, get off of me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some guys will. And that kicks into what you was talking about that anxiety and depression and all this stuff like that. They just kind of fly off the handle because they ain't used to being down like that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to realize you're a toothless lion. You're just a lion with
right. Right.
All you can do is slobber on somebody. You can't bite like you used to, and you got to understand when they give it up. You ain't got no claws. They didn't declawed you and snatched out all your teeth. So you just got to be a regular. You got to be a regular lion.
You put it like that, man. It is kind of it's tough. You know what I'm saying? You put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Toothless lion or whatever.
Yeah. Can't bite no more, dog. They got to help you down the steps, help you in the car, help you in the doctor's office. They got to help you up, take a shower. They got to help you do all this other stuff when you used to doing it yourself. And now you jump into this place where, like you was talking earlier, violence. You know what I'm saying? Men are more likely to be victims of violence, including homicide and assault. Now, they get violent because their ego. They don't want nobody to tell them what to do. And she said, hey, listen, you got to, with a little bit of fight they got left, they act up with a little bit of want to act up. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, well, for us, man, we just got to put that pride down, man. Yeah. Like me, man, I don't have that, I got some pride to a certain extent, but if I'm mature enough that, of course, both of us in the 50s or whatever, you right at 50, I'm a little over 50, but I done put that, stuff to the side where, hey, man, I got to tell my wife I'm hurting. She got to take me like not too long ago, I don't know what happened, but my, my back, my lower back messed up, you know what I'm saying? I was outside, in the yard or whatever. And I wasn't going to go nowhere, but she was like, hey, we need to go to the ER. Yeah. So we ended up going to the ER twice that week. The first time I went, the first time I went to the ER, they didn't do nothing. The second time I went, they kind of gave me some, some feel good medicine or whatever. But we got a man, like I say, you gotta, I'm at that point, man, like, hey, you got to get me out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
We all got to get there, that point, but like you said, a lot of us ain't.
Yeah, man, because
You
they are, they used to, like I said, I could
Mhm.
understand it. They used to doing it on their own.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but as we go on down, man,
Mhm.
with the men, some
Mhm.
of the reasons why they their mortality rate is higher.
Mhm.
Accidents, men are more likely to be injured in accidents, particularly motor vehicle accidents and work related injuries. Now
Right.
when I say work related injuries, I can see
Mhm.
that because they work more than, I ain't gonna say
Right.
women, but they do more dangerous jobs than women.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They think about somebody climbing up on, what's the little towers where they do the
I
telephone
know.
thing?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of it, but it's also like you saying too, like at work,
Yeah,
they gonna try to, you can tell them, hey man, don't pick that up. You know what I'm saying? That's probably about 100 pounds. Oh, I got that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They go over there and you done pulled your back out.
yeah. Stop being a baby. I got it. And they push you out the way, and then
Yeah. You know what I'm
two
saying?
hours later they can't hardly move.
Yeah.
You
Be out of
know,
work for 2 weeks.
yeah. And then man, we talked about a lot of um, things, strokes and all the stuff like that. Man,
Hmm. Right.
that can affect men and send them into like the mental
Hmm.
health side of it. And
Hmm.
one of the things that it could resort to is suicide. Men have a
Hmm.
significantly higher rate of suicide than women,
Hmm.
accounting for 75%. Let me
Hmm.
say it again,
Boy,
75% of suicides globally.
that's some high dominoes, boy.
75%. I
Right.
don't I don't even know what to say with that.
Right.
Like, you think about that. That's
Hmm.
man, as we talk about this, man, I'm trying to figure out, and I'm
Hmm.
thinking,
Hmm.
what would cause 75% of men that would they account for 70, whatever the number is, it was
Hmm.
100,000, they account for 75%, whatever the number, I don't
Right.
know the numbers, but
Right.
75% of that number is men.
Hmm.
What do you like? What do you think could be that reason for that? Just giving up, or just I don't know.
Yeah, I would say giving up,
Hmm.
but I will also add this too. I would
Hmm.
say embarrassed. And
Yeah, yeah.
the reason why I would say embarrassed is like you brought up the whole stroke thing, right?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So most time when people get have
They had
strokes or whatever,
that left side.
they might, yeah, one side might be the hand. They may not be able to
Yeah,
use their hand as well,
yeah,
or they might walk with a limp or
yeah,
whatever. So I kind of feel it's shame. They shame of themselves. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they was upright in Superman, and then they don't have a
yeah,
stroke. And now they got you seen people where they had the strokes, they might not be able to use it be the left or either the right hand that's kind of tucked or bent or
yeah.
whatever.
Hmm. Yeah,
And if you used to being, Captain America or whatever, and then you end up like that,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They might be sitting around, man, thinking about offing themselves or whatever, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
or they'll definitely probably hit that bottle,
yeah.
you know.
So can I ask you something off the record?
Yeah,
Just
go
off
ahead.
the record question. Would it
Hmm.
be wrong to say that th- they should be shamed because you had the opportunity to take care of your health, and you had all this opportunity, everybody telling you that,
Right,
to, hey, do XYZ, you got to do this, stop smoking, drinking,
right.
all of this stuff. Hey, the doctor tell
Hmm.
you the one
Hmm.
time that you went in the last 5 years, your
Right,
cholesterol was high then. You
right.
still been doing the same eating. Don't you think it's
Hmm.
higher now than it was
Hmm.
then? Would it be? I'm just off the record now.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I would say, because they going to the doctors and they keep disobeying the doctors, you know what I'm saying? They kind of asking for it because one thing about when you going to the doctors and they give you that medication,
Yeah.
alcohol and medication ain't going. You got to do one or the other.
Mhm.
You're gonna either take that medication or you're gonna drink the alcohol. So
Yeah.
if you choose that, you choose that alcohol, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So, but then the flip side, I would say,
Hmm.
like some people, I wouldn't put shame on them
Uh-huh.
because some people, a lot of these, some of the most of these diseases we're talking about right here, some of them are hereditary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
But
but
when
the
that
one, yeah,
but when they give them more incentive to
yeah,
stay in the doctor though,
it
like if you
should.
know
Yeah,
grandma, great
right, right,
grandma, all the way
right,
down to the dog got it, and you
right,
still don't wanna go, you still don't want to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? The pet
yeah. I
doctor
feel
said
you.
that the pet got it. You still don't
Right,
want to go to the doctor.
right. And I feel you on that, man. Because like I said, man, a lot of people, believe it or not, they still choose alcohol
Yeah.
over that.
But
Like
you know what though?
the doctor give you medicine, you
Uh-huh.
got all kind of pills to take or whatever to keep
Yeah.
you here. And you
Yeah.
know, you don't, when diet and exercising alone don't help.
Yeah.
And they just gonna push it to the side, man. They got to have that, they got to have that smoke, they got to have that alcohol. You know
But
what
you
I'm
know,
saying?
I'm gonna give them I'm gonna give them a little bit of a pass on that
Hmm.
because alcohol and smoking is a very strong
Hmm.
addiction and spirit addiction,
Right.
and is a very strong
Hmm.
spirit to break, whether it be alcohol,
Right.
smoking,
Hmm.
pornography, things
Right.
like that. So I'm gonna give
Hmm.
them a little bit of a pass, not a
Right.
pass, but kind of I'm be a little lenient because
Right.
I can go back on the record, and I don't want
Right.
nobody to
Yeah, I
say he
understand what you're
act.
saying. But you know, the good thing about it is this discussion. How would I would wonder, because like you said, it is a powerful addiction. You know,
Yeah,
we ain't
very.
taking nothing away from that, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how could that help? You know, like not what I mean or what I'm saying is I wonder how, if a person gotta take their medication, right? But their
Hmm.
alcohol and that smoke is so powerful.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's a powerful addiction, right? I wonder how do they, maybe you got some insight, like because like I say, it's either you're gonna have to do one or the other. It don't mix.
Right. Okay. All
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
All right. So we heard the well break. We got to go to
Mhm.
break, y'all. We'll see
Okay.
y'all at the
Well,
next.
them breaks be coming around quick, don't they?
Man, they come real fast, y'all.
But
We'll be
we
back.
gonna pick, yeah, we're gonna pick up on that because like I said, that's real interesting about
They
that
come
powerful
faster
addiction.
when you're having fun.
Right.
Hey, this next song, he just came out today. This is Coffee Anderson. It's the woman version of Mr. Red, White, and Blue. It is Can't Spell Hero Without Her.
Oh,
Cast Radio, the station that's giving
we're
veterans a
back.
voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Back. We're back.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man, talk
sir.
133. So
Yes,
you were
sir.
saying, do you remember what you were saying before the break?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead and finish
What
it
I
up.
what I was saying was to refresh the audience and
Mhm.
ourselves. Okay, now we know that the alcohol. You said we
Mhm.
give them kind of give them a pass because the alcohol and smoking, the cigarettes or whatever.
Oh,
You
now I
know,
ain't gonna give him a pass. I'm gonna be a
I d-
little lenient.
yeah, a little lenient. That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
with that being said,
Uh-huh.
if I don't know if you may have some solutions. I'm just trying to dig in a little bit for some help for the
Yeah,
people
talk to
that
me.
might be listening. Okay, what would be some solutions because to help them because it's a lot of people that's they gon' like okay they know they suffering, right,
Uh-huh.
and
Sorry.
they got multiple medications, pills, whatever it may be, the doctors prescribe them,
Right,
but they'll push that aside because they want the alcohol or they want the smoke.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, that's one of them. Smoking, alcohol, pornography, and all that stuff like that is one of the. Those are some of the hardest addictions,
The break, yeah.
worst addictions, right, to break, right.
Yeah.
So because they need the medication,
Mm-hmm.
but they're gonna choose the alcohol over the medication. So you say you're gonna be a little lenient on them. I wonder what kind of steps or you know to kind of help them, kind of take their medication because you can't do both of them.
You definitely can't. I can tell you a
Right.
couple of solutions though. You can get
Hmm.
you can get a bottle of holy oil
Yeah, yeah, we definitely can try that.
You get about a holy on start splashing it on them. Where you can take them out
Right.
to a river and baptize.
Hey man, that might be, hey, you try, we could try that because I tell you, man, there's a lot of people, man, that you know what I'm saying, that they gonna
Don't
choose that, they gonna choose that drink and that smoke over that medication.
on a serious note though.
Boy,
They,
you wild for that one though. That's a good analogy though. Always got to keep God in it.
you gotta
Got to
keep
keep
them at the forefront. So they have people seriously that's really licensed
right.
and specialized in
Mhm,
mental health counseling, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
that's going to be probably like a one of the main
mhm,
solutions
mhm.
because somewhere if you're choosing alcohol over your health, which is taking your medicine, is some like maybe like a mental
Yeah.
health issue that may be kind of
Mhm.
making them pick this over that. And some people say it's a spirit or a demon that's making them do X, Y,
Right.
Z. If you're picking, and I can kind of see that because if you're picking your
Right.
health,
Mhm.
picking health over, I mean, you're picking alcohol over health. It's
Right.
something that's kind of somewhere that you got to kind of maybe a little off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cause I mean, there's a lot of people, man, that do that, man. They may think that they can, uh, they may can skip a day or two, and
Yeah,
hey, get their drink on, and then
yeah,
they can come right back, and
yeah,
they can take the pills and or whatever that medication they need or whatever, and think it'll be all right. But little that they do know, they don't. Well, should I say, little that they know is that they can try to hide it all they want to, but like I said, the doctors know when they're drinking.
yeah. Stop suffering in
You know,
silence. Get the help y'all need and stop playing for
that's
real.
right,
And
right.
some other statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Income, men income.
Mm-hmm.
Men, I said that pretty quick. Income. Men generally have a higher income than women, which is true. They do.
Yeah,
But what
yeah,
do you do with the income? Do you
right,
know how to budget it? Do you mess it up?
right,
What do you do with it? You
right.
know what I mean? We do seem to have a higher income than women. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Education. Men are more likely to have a degree, college degree than women. I disagree. That's why we call
Yeah,
this episode is called differences of opinion because I
right.
disagree with that. I don't
Yeah,
think
me
that's
too.
the case.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Because you think about how many women that have degrees versus how many men that
Man,
don't. They kind of because they go into the workplace a lot of time. Like we talked about earlier, they push them into sports to the
yeah,
basketball, football field
yeah,
or the military, which
yeah.
is
And see,
which is not a
yeah,
bad thing to go into. But I'm just saying
right.
that's the way they push them. You know what I'm saying?
And see, like you said, you got your females, like not saying ain't no males in the field, but you got your females. See, they like you said with these degrees, they got these nursing degrees, dental assistants and techs or whatever, x-ray technicians. They all
Mm-hmm.
through the hospital, they all through the medical field. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, with us, with the guys, they like I said, when we come up as a young at a young age, they
Mm-hmm.
gonna push us more toward the sports.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
especially like
Excuse
you
me.
gotta, especially you got like if your dad ain't around, you got an uncle or somebody in the neighborhood. They see some talent in you the next meal ticket. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's what
Yeah,
everybody look at you
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and as I was saying, let me give them some context on what I was saying about the women.
Right.
Women are more likely to have college degree than men. Women
Hmm.
have a higher enrollment and graduation rate than men, and
Yeah.
are likely to graduate in 4 years. The
Hmm.
disparities persist across all racial groups. It
Hmm.
ain't no particular one, whatever.
Right.
In 2022, 67.9% of women graduated from college within 6 years,
Hmm.
compared to 61.3% of men.
Right.
Women are also likely to graduate college in 4 years than
Hmm.
men. Women outnumber men in college enrollment and graduation, including
Hmm.
every major racial and ethnic group. Women between the ages of 25 and 34 continue to be more likely than men in the same age group to have a bachelor's degree.
Right.
So that lets you know right there that it's, men have a they have a just don't want to. I just don't want to. I mean, why would I do that?
Yeah, because I look at myself. As a matter of fact, like with the women with the degrees, I can't leave the teachers out. I got one in the house with me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. My wife, I can't leave her out. So with the medical field, teachers and all that, not saying it ain't no men in the teaching field, but it's a few, but they need more in the teaching field. Cause that's when the kids see them strong men in the teaching field, in the classroom, they act better accordingly. But unfortunately, it ain't too many in the classroom now. So that's why kids act out of course, along with being at home. You get your training from home too. You know what I'm saying? But when you get some training at home and then you come to school and you see some strong men, you're gonna act accordingly. Cause I tell them all the time, I know I couldn't teach. I'd be on 5 o'clock news. Cause I be got fired. Cause I'm the old school whooping. That's how I do it.
I'm about to get in trouble again.
Yeah.
It ain't. It's very few.
Right.
Strong men, teachers in school right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah.
I ain't saying they don't exist, but I'm just saying they're not in the school system right now like they should be. Right. And one of the reasons why I think they're not in school is we gave the statistics. Men are less likely to have college degrees than women. And if you don't have a college degree, you can't teach in school. Only thing you can do is be a principal. be a janitor or some bus driver. And the ones that do go to school and get college degrees, they grew up in some of them grew up in certain areas where we would consider as soft.
Yeah.
So they don't really have a backbone because they were raised by women.
Right.
And
that's right.
When you raised by a woman, you can't have a man backbone. You can have a woman's backbone.
Right.
And you're going,
Yeah, and then too, like you said, with the men, as far as like in the teaching field or whatever, like trying to keep up with the statistics with the women with the degrees. Just call it like we got to call it. See it, dog. We ain't trying to do too much studying. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
After we get through the 12th grade, you know what I'm saying? we got to go make some money.
For real.
Whether that's military or or wherever, you know what I'm saying? We got to go make some money.
And that's a fact.
And that's what the, that's kind of like sometimes that can be where the disconnect can lie too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
And that's the thing, man. Right. I want to say this before we go to break. These statistics are based on data from the United States and other countries. It is important to remember these are general trends and individual experiences may differ. Still the same.
Right.
They are not in the schools. They have less degrees than women, and it's just what it is. I don't know no other way to sugarcoat it. It ain't no tough, hard men in the school like it was when we were in. And I don't.
Oh no.
I hope y'all don't get mad at me for being honest. Now I'm just get mad all you want. The truth is the truth, though.
Right.
It is. Hey, we'll be back after the break. We hear the music.
That's right.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Welcome back to Man Ta1k 133. Shout out to Coffee Anderson. Yo, new boyfriend is ugly.
Yeah, them boys, man. Them boys need to be signed up, man. All these guys dope. Hey.
Yo, I was laughing so hard in the break, yo. Yo, new boyfriend.
Yeah, man.
Hey, guess what? He was ugly. You sure?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that caught me off guard too, man. I was
Yeah, I know,
listening to
right?
words, I was
We
dying
having
laughing.
fun yet?
Yeah.
Yo, all right, okay. Let me
But
get it
yeah,
together.
but yeah, man. Before we went to break, man,
Uh-huh.
I'll touch bases back on what you was talking about the strong men teachers, right? Real quick.
Yeah, no, go
Cause
ahead and
it'll
handle
cause
that.
it'll cause it'll tie back in to what we talking about with the
Uh-huh.
depression and all that, right? You
Yeah.
remember back in the day, right? We had all them strong men teachers
Yeah, old
that we had in school.
Bruce
You remember
Harris and
all,
all that. Yeah.
yeah, all them was in the neighborhood,
Yeah, for sure.
all across town. So you couldn't get away with nothing cause you saw them at school and you saw them in the neighborhood.
Hmm.
So if you messed up in school, like first thing they gonna say, you already know that you don't want them to tell mom or pops.
No,
It's definitely pop.
not at
So
all.
I say all that to say this is when you had all those strong men that's in the neighborhood that was teachers, even though
Uh-huh.
we was talking about them being in school, now they were supermen back
Hmm.
in the day.
Yeah.
So then as they got older, because I've seen a few of them, being
Hmm.
sick, can't have, hardly walk and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
So you can kind of see the signs of, like you said, depression
Yeah.
or and not anxiety or whatever, whatever you want to put in that
Yeah.
blanket
Yeah.
or
I see
whatever.
what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it kind of ties back in, man, like what we was talking about, like with the men with the depression and Superman and all that kind of stuff like that. I just thought
Yeah.
about that when you was talking about those strong teachers that we had in the community back in the day.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
It's just like the football players.
yeah,
What do they do when you don't hear the applause?
yeah,
It's like the teachers.
yeah,
They don't hear that no more. Hey, Mr.
yeah,
So and so and blah, and that's what they had. They had
right.
the applause from the community and
And
all of
that
that stuff like that.
and that's when you glad you brought that up, but they don't hear the applause no more.
Yeah,
And when that kick in like that, that's when the alcohol kick in.
yeah.
It's like,
Self
man,
medicating.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna transition because
Okay.
we gave them all the other stuff. Now
Okay.
we're gonna talk about some stuff that can help them.
Right.
Before we get out of here, some stuff that can help
Okay.
them and stuff like that. Issues that affect, not effect, affect.
Hmm.
Uh, Affect is to have an effect or make a difference. That's the
Hmm.
difference in the words effect and effect, right?
Right.
Anger management. Anger management training helps understand emotional dynamics of anger,
Hmm.
observing negative and
Hmm.
distorting thinking, and identify anger
Hmm.
triggers.
Hmm.
Anxiety and depression, uh, domestic violence, being a good father, family dynamics, managing stress, marriage counseling, midlife crisis. Some of these
Hmm.
things, it can have that it affect them where they'll turn. You know what I
Right.
mean? If I'm making sense, like
Right.
being a good father, they want to
Right.
be a good father now since they've been a doodle head for the
Yeah.
for the
I see what you're saying now. Yeah. It's
you know
almost
what I'm
like
saying?
it's almost like you been hard all your life. And then you gonna like, man, he really mellowed out.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you talking about that, right?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And when you can get them to see that
Hmm.
the family dynamics and
Hmm.
it plays a part. All of it plays a part because
Hmm.
the family dynamics you have to make in the head, but he has to be the responsible head.
Hmm.
You can't give him.
Hmm.
I ain't saying you. He can be the head and be what he wants. He's a head of it. The order
Right.
is God, and then
Right.
the man, and then the woman. But
Right.
if he's irresponsible with the
Yeah.
responsibility, it can
Right.
cause a lot of issues. So
Hmm.
you can't really. And once he understands the dynamics, like I'm
Hmm.
supposed to lead all of them, then he can
Right.
kind of see, where he
Hmm.
needs to go. Then managing stress.
Right.
Then you got to manage that stress.
Yeah.
Well,
I,
I know kids and all that stress you out.
I-
But you got to
from
manage.
what you were saying, from what I was gathering, right?
Uh-huh.
What you were saying, um, the anger management or the
Yeah.
mellowing of the heart, right?
Yep.
And it's almost like I guess when they mellow in their heart, they are accepting their role.
Yeah,
And
I agree with that.
At the older age, but when you got those ones that are you said have anger management.
Well, need anger management. Yeah, they need it.
They need it because they so angry or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are the ones they've been so used to leading in for all their life, right? They've been so used to leading, and they've been the breadwinner, and they've been rah and all this or whatever. So when they're stripped from them, that's when the anger kick in.
Yeah, they've been leading the wrong way.
Right.
I put it that
way.
Oh
no. Well, the way I was putting it was like, I guess like like the breadwinner, you the leader, the house, whatever. And then when you just say like you was talking earlier about with the stroke or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they might have led right all their life, but when they get hurt and then they can't lead like that no more, they feel less than.
Yeah, like the toothless lion. I got you.
Yeah, so that's what I was referring to. So then that's probably when some guys probably have anger that comes out. But back to the other guy, like you were saying with the mellowing of the heart, he's the one that accept, okay, like I just ain't got it no more, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna just play with my grandkids and and I'm gonna just sit back.
His fate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I was trying, pretty much trying to differentiate the two. You know what I'm saying?
I get you now. I follow you. Right. I follow what you say. I got you now.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how to cope with stress? I got to get through this. All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Men enjoy a wide variety of activities, but some common interests include playing sports, watching sports, working out, spending time outdoors, playing video games, working on hobbies. Like maintenance, like car maintenance, woodworking, socializing with friends, watching movies, listening to music, and engaging in physical activities like hiking or fishing. However, individual preferences may vary greatly depending on the person. So keys to remember: physical activities. Men enjoy playing basketball. Enjoy sports like basketball, football, soccer, golf, going to the gym, or participating in outdoor activities like hiking, camping, and fishing. These are basically these are some things that y'all can do to kind of cope with stress or help with the stress, right?
Right.
Socializing, spending time with friends, going out to bars or restaurants. Now, I wouldn't advise the bar.
We're gonna turn up a few.
If you got a problem with that bottle, stay away from the bar.
Yeah, you might want to stay away from that.
Restaurants fine, but bars off limits.
Right.
So
right.
But then you got tech and entertainment. You got that. You can play video games, watching movies or TV shows, listen to music, browsing the internet, and popular leisure activities, and then hobbies. Whatever your hobbies are. Some people like working on cars. Some people like doing whatever it is they do. You know what I'm saying? Right. Building things. Some people like tinkering electronics.
Right.
Important to remember, these are just trends, and individual men will have their own unique interests and preferences. So we gave y'all, go to the doctor. Before we get out of here, we hear the music. Y'all go to the doctor, get yourself checked out, make sure y'all good. Y'all want to be around for your children's children. If that's a long time, though, ain't it? That's a lot of
right.
And unless they doing it rapidly, it's children's.
That's right.
Hey, y'all, thank y'all for joining Man Talk 133. This is where men unite. We're trying to bring tips for the men, help the men out. Until next time, God bless.
We out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, Be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.